Marvel news. Preston Matanga kind of got his praise for the week for being the 14-year-old who worked on the Lego sequence for Across the Spider-Verse over several weeks during his spring break and then finished it after his homework on school nights. So I'm giving him the name of Cool Guy of the Week because being that young and being able to make something that's in a movie that's going to come close to $1 billion and is one of the most beloved trilogies of all time. And it wasn't just like a 2-second thing. Like it was at least like he had like probably 1 or 2 minutes of animation that he made all himself, which is just awesome. So Cool Guy of the Week, Preston Matanga. Bravo, sir. Obviously, you're going to have a bright future ahead with this already on your resume at freaking 14 years old.
Dog of the week.
Yeah, dog of the week. I like that better. And then we're going to go from dog of the week to loser of the week. Tenoch Huerta. I used to think it was Tenoch Huerta, but then after watching Y Tu Mama Tambien, there's a guy named Tenoch, and that's how they pronounce it. So Tenoch Huerta has been accused of sexual assault. Another Marvel L. It's just no good. Like I hope this gets I hope everything is okay and good in terms of Maria Elena Rios. And it's just crazy all the news that keeps coming out from Marvel. I think it was like a year or two ago when the whole like Amber Heard and the whole Ezra Miller stuff came to light, and Marvel was kind of dunking on DC, saying like, "Wow, they just cast all like the worst human beings ever." Seems like they were throwing stones from glass houses at that point because it seems like Marvel's got plenty of losers of the week working for them, so no good. Marvel officially changes their name of Captain America: New World Order to Captain America: Brave New World. I didn't really know the connection of New World Order and some negative connotations historically, but that aside, I think it's like a downgrade name in terms of just like what name sounds cooler. But I get for historical purposes and for connotations of what the old name had, they wanted to change it. But it's just weird that it took this long. Like if it truly was associated with like World War II and Nazism, like we knew it was the New World Order, and they had it at like D23 and all the Marvel Expos for like 2 years now. So it's like, how did it take this long?
In Marvel's defense, Captain America Civil War was supposed to be called Captain America Serpent Society for the longest time. And they didn't announce that change until that final, I think it was at Comic-Con when they had previewed like a trailer or something.
Okay.
Where they announced that it's not going to be Captain America Serpent Society, it's going to be Captain America Civil War.
Yeah, so
but
maybe
that makes more sense because like keeping Civil War under wrap is definitely something absurd. Like that's a massive announcement to make, so like it makes sense that they wanted to keep that under wraps until they had like the platform to announce it. But again, it's not the first time the MCU has done this with a Captain America movie.
Yeah, that's very fair. It could just be a case of when they start producing a film, they just slap a name on it and they just worry about what the actual name is going to be later. And then last bit of news for nerd news is Chris Hemsworth has kind of came out in a bunch of interviews this week and says like he didn't love Thor: Love and Thunder. He thought it got a little too silly. He didn't love the comedy, and he's kind of over it at this point. He's basically just saying what we all know, and we all feel the same, Chris.
He said about like, what did he say? It made me quite sad reading it when he was like, about how Tarantino and Scorsese felt like Marvel films, and he said that he hated hearing that from his heroes because he always wanted to work with them. It kind of made me quite sad, to be honest. I just felt quite bad for him, and I definitely understand his kind of point of view there. But yeah, I actually watched. Obviously, we'll get into that. But yeah, I watched Thor: Love and Thunder this week, and yeah.
You agree on the humor?
Yeah, shit. It's not good.
What did you think of the screaming goats?
We'll get into that, George. We'll get into that.
Oh yeah, when we talk about what we've been watching this week, we're about to be there. But yeah, the thing I feel bad for Chris Hemsworth as well too, because there's people like, why am I just blanking on whoever it could be? Like anyone who's joined the MCU in like phase 3 or phase 4. So like, I don't know, whatever new movies are coming. Even like Tom Holland, I guess. Tom Holland came in when it was like halfway through phase 2. Or no, it was like the end of phase 3. Yeah, phase 3. So he came in, and at that point you'd be like, oh, he's joining a mega successful franchise. Whereas Thor was like number 2 guy. Like he was like the second guy in, very beginning of the franchise phase. So he didn't join when it was like this tired, mega successful thing. He joined, like he probably signed on to be Thor before like even Iron Man probably even came out, and they even knew that this was going to work. So that like at that point he's just, you're in the contract, you're playing the character, you're kind of locked in at this point. So I can feel bad for him at that point because it wasn't, he never knew what it was going to grow into this crazy thing where now big directors are saying like, oh, these franchises are all kind of dry and overdone. But yeah,